Good morning and welcome to the September 14th meeting of the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners. We're glad that you're here this morning. At this time, we ask if you have any electronic devices, would you please just silence them until we finish with the meeting. We're going to stand for the invocation to be given by Commissioner McCoy, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I just ask that you bow with me in those few moments. Lord, we just come to you so glad that we can approach you. We can approach you with Abba, Father. We thank you for that. And Lord, we just thank you for what you've done for us in the past and the much you're going to do for us in the future. Lord, just be with us this morning as we make those decisions that will be necessary here for Meriwether County, as well as for the upbuilding of your kingdom. And as always, Lord, just forgive us what we've done. In Christ Jesus' name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our first item will be to adopt the agenda, but we do have a couple of changes under new business. If you will delete number 2 and number 4. That's Sheriff Smith, building concerns and defects letter of intent. And then add, we'll renumber there, and so our new number 4 will be the acceptance and authorize the chair to sign an AFG Assistance to Firefighters Grant. Are there any other changes that need to be made? Hearing none, can we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? Okay. Next is our finance report. Mr. Bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You've got the report in front of you. The general fund's at $1.2 million. We'll be getting the September payments from the Department of Revenue for the 911 fund, so that'll get it up over that $450,000, and we'll be making that transfer probably next week to strengthen the general fund throughout the rest of the month and into the middle of October. All the rest is pretty self-explanatory. If you've got any questions on it, I'll be glad to answer them.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you. Do we have anyone signed up for citizen comment? Okay, we'll move along. All right, the minutes. We have the minutes from the August 23rd, 2022, 6 p.m. regular meeting. You've had an opportunity to look over these. Are there any changes, corrections that need to be made? Hearing none, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second? Second. All in favor? Next, we have the minutes from the September 7th, 2022, 9 a.m. special call meeting. You've had the opportunity to look over those minutes as well. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I was not there.
Okay, Commissioner Ray Gill and Commissioner Hines will abstain. They were absent. All right, we do have a public hearing tonight. This morning. This will be case number 2022-004. Can we have a motion to go into a public hearing?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, we're in public hearing. All of you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so coming before you guys, I know you probably have heard, is a case for Mr. Herbert Crawford. I believe you guys have your package. If not, let me know. Coming before you is a special use permit. He is asking that 49.54 acres off of Macedonia Road in Luthersfield be zoned as a special use for a RV park. As you, in my staff report, it is 3 pages long, so I don't know if you guys want me to read the entire report, but basically it is that he has filled out his application. The park is on Macedonia Road in the northwest side of Meriwether County. It runs along Beaumont Road, and it is known as parcels on the map that, map number 024041, which is 25 acres, 024042, which is 22.78 acres, and map 24043, which is 1.76 acres. I have contacted the two local property owners. I did not hear anything out of Westhauser, which is the large timber company on one side, but Ms. Jared out of the other side had called, and her questions were just, she did not want it to affect her property in a way that she would lose money, and it being an RV park and the location that it is in, I informed her that it would not. Mr. Crawford was not able to be here today, but he does have Scott here, if you have any questions for him. First off, do you have any questions for me regarding this, and so I can help you out here? There is a map on the screen as to the size of it.
I just noticed that she stated in here she is recommending this.
I am recommending this. He has met all the requirements. Darren and I have gone through this with fine tooth comb, so to speak. He is asking for 150 lots. There is stipulations, if you read in my recommendations, as far as the stipulations go. He would have, in our ordinances, it states that he would have to have 6 bathrooms per so many number of lots. That is kind of extreme with the septic system that he would have to put in. Most campers or RVs have their own restroom anyway. So I'm recommending that we reduce that number down. It also states that a residency cannot be used as a permanent residence. It can only be used as a 6-month stay, and that they would have to keep records, and I would have access to those records at all times. It also says that my recommendations would be that he would have to list this as the people come in, so they can see it on boards, on a board somewhere, but also be in the applications as well, stating that they cannot use this as a permanent living record. Right now, the way that our ordinance states is no one can live in an RV park anywhere in the county, period. So a lot of people who are building their homes are living in these RVs without us even realizing it or knowing it. And once we find out, it's really, they've already basically ready to move into their homes. So this would give someone a place in the county that they could put an RV while they are building their homes. It also is a very good location for the industrial park, for people who bring in executives that, they could have a nice RV set up there, that they would be closer to the industrial park. So this is the reason some of the reasons that I have recommended for it.
So a 6-month stay, but if they leave one day and come back, is that?
They would have, they cannot live there permanently, correct. They would have to remove it, or they would have to, if it's like building a home, like this last couple of years, it's taken people 12+ months to get the materials in to build their homes.
So realistically, they could be there 364 days. They just have to have that 1-day break.
They had to have the break and a letter stating why they would have to come back for that additional 6 months. But they can't just live there.
What about the, how many restroom shower facilities are you recommending though? I mean, I know you said not whatever you said for every so many sites.
6. It would be in the middle of the park, and it's a big block or wooden shower and restroom unit in the middle of the park that they would have access for showers.
Just one then.
One big unit, one big location.
Madam Chair, having experienced this, the showers, the septic tanks, that's gonna come under the state's purview. He will make the final decisions on what will be there and how that will be done. Mr. Eugene Sminner has let that be known.
Under our ordinances, we have a stipulation.
Well, I mean, if somebody can say they're 6 months, if they are using their own facilities, they got to have somewhere to dump.
It goes into, there are systems.
Okay, so go into, okay, all right.
Yes, there are water and sewer systems there.
Okay.
This is just an additional, a lot of your RV parks have an additional shower.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
restroom unit
Yes.
to go to, and this was just that additional
that makes
unit in the
sense then.
center.
Okay.
Something extra.
Madam Chair? I have a question.
Yes.
How far off of Gold Mine would you have before you drive into the park? And my main concern is for the amount of traffic that's going to be on Gold Mine. And will they have a separate, it's not a, it's a county road, but knowing there's a church, there's several homes in that area, so when they pull in, they're, you know, some of them are pretty big and wide. Is there going to be a different turnoff lane for them to come in? And then how far back will the park actually be off of the main road?
Number of
Let
feet,
Mr.
yeah, number of feet, I don't know, but it's at the very end of Gold Mine is a dead end road, I mean, not Gold Mine,
Macedonia is a dead
It
end road.
is at the dead end of it where you probably familiar with the range.
I'm very familiar.
You live there,
Right, so,
okay.
just right there where Macedonia Road is Macedonia Baptist Church.
Right,
So they have their, on one side of that where your road is at is where the cemetery is at.
across the cemetery, yes.
No, there's a cemetery on the side where the church is at.
I had never even seen that. And I know there's one across the road,
No, there's where the church is located,
yeah,
backing into Macedonia Road is a cemetery.
okay,
Right now, they're, you know, that's full, so they're using it across the street.
okay.
What I'm asking is, as you're pulling off of Gold Mine onto Macedonia, how wide of an area will that be? Because some of the RVs are pretty big, some of them are small, and how far back will you be before you get into the park? And are you going to have any kind of entryway coming into the park?
Off of Gold Mine, we had not planned on any changes to it, it's a wide entrance there now. And the entrance to the park itself, from where the cemetery and church are, there again, that entrance will be at the very end of it, just as far as it can go without going into the fold. We could actually probably approach into the, where they got barricades up where the road is. Make another entrance. Probably would be the original entrance there now with the driveway always had.
My other question, Madam Chair, is for that many of lots, what a one-way in the event of an emergency, how other ways would you be able to get in, or, you know, I guess that's just my concern, having more accessibility into the park or out of the park.
Park itself would have two entrances.
Okay,
There would only be one off of Gold Mine, which is the.
where's the other entry gonna be?
There'll be two entrances in and out for the park itself.
Okay,
And it's not unusual for RV parks to only have one entrance, even if it's very large.
Being that those RVs have to be checked into the office and have to be registered.
Yeah.
so there would be,
But they're usually big enough so that you have an entrance for one going in, and you have an exit for those coming out.
On the other
and
side.
then make like that, U-turn and then come back out the same way that you came in.
They're not wide enough for both. They wouldn't have to have a U-turn, they're just wide enough that one RV could be coming in as another one's coming out.
That was my main concern, coming right off of, onto Gold Mine Road, because it is, well, it is well traveled, because a lot of people use that to get back on 54.
Any other questions? Okay, is there anyone who wishes to speak in support of this request? Do we have anyone present who wants to speak against the request? Any other questions from Ms. Sharp? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have a motion to go out of public hearing?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? All right, we're back into regular session. What is the pleasure of the board regarding case 2022-004?
At this point, Madam Chair, I see no reason not to, so I move that we go ahead and approve.
With the conditions recommended by staff.
With the conditions so recommended.
I'll second.
All right, any other comments? All in favor? All right, it's approved. Thank you both. Mhm. All right, we do not have any appointments. We don't have any unfinished business. We'll move along to new business. Number 1, the Lake Meriwether Dam, Cane Creek Watershed number 2.
Madam Chair and Board, this is for approval and authorization for the work order from Peoples and Quigley. This is for the 800-acre LiDAR and photometric survey of Lake Meriwether area. This is one of the 5 comments received from Georgia DNR, and goes along with the work order that was approved last meeting. And Mr. Bill Cawthorn's here to answer any questions you might have in reference to this.
Okay, good morning. Any of the commissioners have any questions?
Well, I think just to reemphasize the fact that this all comes under a federal heading, we've got to follow the rules to maintain an earthen dam, so it's almost like we're speaking with our arm twisted up our back, so that's.
Just a lot of things you have to do regardless. Mr. Cawthorn, you have anything you just want to comment on?
This survey will provide the information on the first issue paper we had at the end of August, so they can compile that base map for their dam bridge analysis.
And the cost for this is $28,500, and staff recommends out of general fund.
Basically, they're gonna use drones and do some aerial topography.
Okay. All right, any other questions from the board? What's the pleasure?
Well, I move that we go ahead and approve the pending work.
All right, we have a second.
Second it with the 28.5 out of general fund.
And authorization for the chair to sign.
Authorization for chair to sign.
All right, amended for authorization of chair to sign. All in favor? Next, a review of the proposed FY 2022-2023 budget. That's in your packet.
Is in your packet. It's that time of year again. My first time presenting this budget to you. Mr. Bill Gregory has been wonderful. He's met with the departments and myself, and it's in your packets. We can go over it line by line. I don't know what the preference is of the board at this time. No? Or if you guys just want to review it, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to me.
Y'all want to take a
I
few
have-
minutes and just
yeah.
review and look over, or have you already had a chance to look at it and see if you have any questions, or?
I'm more than happy to try to explain anything that you might have questions on.
Bill, donations under the animal shelter, it shows 7,500 per year. It's 7,500 per quarter.
I'm sorry, what?
It's 7,500 per quarter on that donation.
That donation, we don't budget. This 7,500 is for individuals throughout the year that donate to that shelter.
Okay.
So that's in addition to the foundation.
Okay.
That's not reality. That's hopefully.
That's correct, but we usually get about that much from individuals. That's usually how we handle we consider that foundation a grant, and we don't normally budget for those grants. We just recognize them as we receive them. Did you want to go over the revenue line items that increased?
We can, yeah, absolutely, anything. There are some that we'd like to point out. There has been some increases. We've seen an increase in insurance premium taxes on the revenue side, as well as the lost, which you guys know monthly, our average has gone up. So of course, we've seen an increase there, and anticipation for real property to bring in a higher amount as well, even without increasing the millage rate.
And those line items added together gives us the increase from the 17,003 to the 18,010.
I believe that's our largest budget yet, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we are presenting a balanced budget. One more area on revenues that increased that I failed to talk to you about is building permits. And of course, we've seen an uptick in that, so that's a reason for that.
Am I overlooking the fire department on this?
But it should be the last two pages. Let me-
Oh, okay.
Our district is separate from the
It's
general.
separate from the
Okay.
general fund. Yes, ma'am.
So that's this. So this is it, Bill?
I think it's the last three. I think that's,
Last 2 pages.
it doesn't look like it's in this set here.
The last, I've got the welcome center, IDA. I don't see anything with the fire department, unless I'm overlooking.
Yeah, it looks like general fund.
No, last thing we have is the employee benefits breakdown, I think.
Yeah. There's nothing in here that talks about the fire department.
It's not on the very back page, couple of pages.
I don't know if it got just left out or what, but no, I don't see anything.
Lots of pages, but not that one.
We can make copies.
Okay.
This one has all the writing on it. Do you want?
That's right.
Sorry about that. Thank you for pointing that out.
I do have one question. Under the library, I know they came and did a presentation, and I know the board voted, but that amount, what was the main reason for such an increase?
They wanted to be open on Saturdays and increase their wages.
Okay, thank you.
If anybody has seen their ads looking for employees, like minimum wage.
They had not been able to give increases in
Yeah.
a long time.
So hope to goodness they're gonna be able to do something different there. And they are doing some updating and renovating. I know at least the one in Manchester, it's been closed for a week now, I think.
So we're reviewing this today. It'll be brought back at our next meeting for approval.
Correct.
Okay. So we have time to review.
Sure.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us.
Okay, and she's making the copies of the fire, do y'all look over that now, or take it and look at it and bring it back to the next meeting? So if you'll just add that, give it to us when it comes in, then we'll be prepared to vote the next meeting. Okay, let's move on to,
Steph,
yes, I'm sorry.
we'll be working on the fire district to,
Thank you.
that report shows a that amount at the bottom transfers in. We'll be working on that to reduce the expenses in the fire district and get that number as low as we possibly can. It'll be a balanced budget, but it may require an influx of money from other sources.
So where is the transfers in coming from?
It'll be a various, some from the general fund. As we lower the expenses in the budget, that number will go down. And as a last resort, I know y'all don't want to do this, and I don't either, but we could utilize ARP funds to make that up.
I know it's gonna be a deficit.
But I'm curious,
Y'all have copies of the budget? Did y'all?
It's on the, we're going,
Well, I was going to see it. Could we just get them a copy to, and then just include these two things to go with it, just so they have it? We got extra copies here. But if they could get one, but no, just wait, something they can look at.
because we know come January, one of them will be sitting up here, so he'll
For
need it.
sure. Of course, many others want to get it too, but it certainly is something.
there are costs in the fire district that we show in the budget that we've talked about for the last year or so that we'll probably need to move those to the general fund, such as utilities and some of the insurance costs and
Yeah,
stuff
and we
like that.
talked about that a little bit
Yeah.
in our special call
Yeah, the last
meeting
meeting.
last week, that was,
But we'll give you
We all
several
have one.
options.
okay. All right, does everybody have everything they need now so we can, be prepared to vote next week? Well, I just use this. Okay, all right, we'll move on to, let's see, will be number 3, authorization to work with Three Rivers Regional Commission for an update needed on the comprehensive plan and short-term work program.
Madam Chair and Board, this comprehensive plan and short-term work plan is in need of an update. I would like authorization to move forward with Three Rivers Regional Commission to do so.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Hearing none, can we have a motion? A second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next will be number 4 that we added, and that's regarding the grant.
Yes, Madam Chair and Board, thank you for adding this. This is a grant that was brought to us last minute, but it was a grant that we were approved for. It's through the Assistance to Firefighters Grant and AFG grant. It's in the amount of $104,000, so 10% match from us, which means we will receive $94,954 from them and be responsible for $9,454. And this will provide us with 2 SCBA tank refill stations. The current ones we have are approximately 13 years old. This is a great grant. Staff recommends approval with use of general fund dollars.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Can we have a motion to accept and authorize the chair to sign?
I'll make a motion to do the 10% match out of general fund, allow chair to sign.
All right, we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that really all the way down to? All right, we have a report from the county administrator, Ms. Irizarry.
Okay, Interim Chief Danny Stevens would like to make sure everyone is aware that they have had 7, or we have had 7 recruits, complete firefighter 1. Those 7 recruits are currently in EMT school, so they're on the next step, so hopefully we will retain that. We will be setting up a ribbon cutting for the boat ramp, and hopefully soon as the punch list items are completed, a ribbon cutting for the fire department in Greenville. This Saturday, the 17th, from 12 to 4, is the Meriwether County Animal Shelter. They did a cute little flyer. There's going to be stunts, actors, food trucks. It's a big event at the animal shelter trying to help, with the overflow and inflow of animals that we have at this point in time. Come out, you might meet your new best friend. We have extra flyers of these. So bring the family. It's definitely an exciting time. I think most of you are aware, but did want to make this note that the bridge is closed on Trammell Road. We are going to have to work with an outside company to help us get that bridge elevated. It's just not something we have the equipment to do ourselves, but we are in process of getting that done. And the recreation is going to have the community market in October. We received that information, so we'll make sure that that gets put on Facebook and the website. It will be on October 1st and 2nd from 9 to 5. And that's all I have.
Okay, we'll move on to report from our county commissioners. Commissioner Hines,
I don't have anything.
Commissioner Plant.
I just want to remind everyone about Keep Meriwether Beautiful that's coming up on September the 24th, 8 to 4 p.m. and encourage everyone to participate. And got anything that needs to be taken to the dumpsters? Whatever we do not litter, please. That's it for me.
All right. I have one question on the Trammell Mill Bridge. What other ways can those residents get in there?
They can access off of Highway 18,
Okay.
like you hit the Pine Mountain and then come off of County Line Church.
Also, County Line, they can still get in from County Line Church Road then, okay. And I saw the notification go out. Have you had any calls or anything from any of the residents that live out there?
Or
Have you had any calls from any of the residents that live, because I haven't heard from anybody, which I'm sort of surprised.
I sent Ms. Little an email before we actually closed the bridge,
Good idea.
and she responded.
Okay, thank you. This goes all the way into October. Just remember, Warm Springs will have their annual Harvest Hoedown on Saturday, the 8th, and Sunday, the 9th. Just put that on your calendar and look forward to seeing everybody down there. Thank you. Commissioner Threadgill?
I don't have anything.
Commissioner McCoy?
I think everything's been covered, don't you?
Goodness, okay. Report from our county attorney.
Being consistent, I have nothing to report, ma'am.
Do we have a need for an executive session?
Yes, we do, for personnel and litigation.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and mention our future meetings, which will be September the 27th, to be our regular meeting at 6 PM. I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel and litigation.
So moved.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor? We're going to executive session. Those, all right, can we have a motion to go back into regular session?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? All right, there was action taken in executive session. Can we have a motion to authorize to contract with an independent contractor for fire marshal services?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? Any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All right, all in favor? Thank you, we're adjourned. Thank you.